Hello, my name is Fidelis. I enjoy helping people understand their life, helping people discover who they are, helping people find their unique gifts within them so as to better live a happier life, a more fulfilled life, and also to activate that desire to help others within them. And I love to share my personal stories because I've been through a lot. When I was 28, I understood that God puts you in the worst path. God puts you through the worst of the worst. Because deep within you is a very unique gift. A gift that you need to use to be of service to others. And this is me trying to be of service to you, to help you understand why you're going through what you're going through right now. I want to share a story that changed my life completely. Um, so let's backdate this. This is me after I just finished Form 4 high school, and my sister, who's 3 years younger than me, came up to me and she said, "Sis, there is this concert that my friends are going for. It's called Vijana Tujipange, and it's in Kasarani, and I'd love to go." So together, my sister and I, we went to my father to ask for permission, and my father said no. But being who we are and having that great, like, this desire is too much for us to go for this concert. So we went to my mother, and my mother, she said, "Yes, you can go as long as you're home before your father gets home." And my mom didn't have money. So what she did was she gave me a phone. It was called, I think, Jibambe, Kabambe. She gave me this small phone and she said, "Carry your passport because I don't have money right now. I'll give you fare to go there. But your fare to come back, I will send it to you through M-Pesa. And for you to go to an M-Pesa station back then, you had to have an ID. And I had just gotten my passport. I wasn't old enough to get an ID because I wasn't 18. I was 16 and a half. So we said, okay. So we started this journey. We got into the public transportation. We went all the way to Kasarani. My sister and I split. Before we split, we decided, you know what, sis? When this concert comes to an end, let us meet at that chemist, pharmacy. It was right across from the field that we were having the concert in. And so she met up with her friends. I made a few friends, and everything was fine as it should be. We were teenagers, we were teenagers. And then all of a sudden, I felt this huge, like a knot in my stomach. When something just stops you in your tracks. And I said, "Oh my God, where's my sister?" And then as I said that, I'm looking up and I'm seeing dust. And I said, "Oh my God, my sister." So now I'm calling her. And she says, "Hi, sis, nimepimwa." I'm like, "What do you mean umepimwa?" At that point, it was this whole situation. It was at that point, it was when we had like all these VCT centers. AIDS was a big deal. So now I'm freaking out. I'm like, "Guy, my sister, she's sick or what?" Then I'm like, "What?" And so I'm like, "Can we meet at the chemist?" So I'm running to the chemist, and my friend was coming with me. I find my sister sitting on the steps to the entrance, and I ask her, "What's the matter?" She's nimepigwa. Like I just got attacked. And I said, "What? By who?" She's like, "Chokoras. They came and they took my bag." For those that don't know, chokoras are like street boys, homeless kids. She said, "They came and they took my bag. They snatched it from me. They punched me." And at this moment, my heart broke. It broke. Because for one, I was like, my sister doesn't deserve this. She's the sweetest girl I know. Why would you want to hit her? Second, my passport was in that bag. I was traveling to the US within 2 weeks, and now they stole the bag. And then thirdly, my father had said, "Don't go." But we had gone. My father had already paid for my ticket to come to the US. He had already told everybody I was leaving. And there was no way we were going to process a brand new passport, a brand new visa within 2 weeks. But being the firstborn that I am, I couldn't let my sister see all these struggles within me. So I told her, it's okay, sis, it's okay. You know, I have a friend of mine. He has a car. I know he leaves work around this time. I'll call him and he can come pick us up and he can drop us off. It's not a big deal. And as I was saying that, I was just realizing how much of a mess I had made. And in the process of just processing all that, that chokora that hit my sister, imagine he came around and threw the passport at me and said, sister shika hiyo inaweza kusaidia. Like, let me translate that. Here, sister, take that. It might help you. Wow. That's when you realize God is alive. You realize God is here among us. God is not going to let me down. God is just trying to prove himself to me. God is saying, girl, rely on me. Trust me. I got you. I got you. And why would I be saying that? Prior to this concert, when I had gotten my visa, like back in September, this was December now. Back in September, I hadn't even sat for my KCSC exam. And from September up to this December, I had been calling my relatives. I had so many relatives in the US. I had been calling, texting, Facebooking, going to their homes in Africa and saying, Auntie, can you please call so and so? Because I really need a place to stay. I have the visa. I just don't have anyone to pick me up from the airport. And I would be told, oh, they don't pick up my phone, and oh, they're busy, oh, they're working. And I had given up hope, and I didn't want to tell this to my father. So every time my dad would ask me, I'd say, yeah, he said he's gonna text me, and oh yeah, he said he's gonna reach me on Facebook. Sorry guys, I got distracted. My sister was just walking by. So anyway, I wasn't telling my father the truth that everybody had just rejected me. They did not want to host me. These were my cousins, my auntie, my uncle. This was basically all my relatives in the US. I had tried it all. And so that day, when the chokora came and threw back the passport, I said, God, this is you. This is you. I am young, but this is you. And I believe that if I truly, truly wasn't meant to get out of this country, I'm not going to. But you've just given me that boost in my faith. You've said, listen, your dream is your dream. Your gift is your gift. Your blessing is your blessing. And nobody can take that from you. And so that day I called up my friend because they threw up they just threw back the passport. They didn't give us back the money or the comb or the powder or the eye pencil that was there. So my friend came and picked us up. We got home. We never said a word about this because you know what? It didn't matter. We just said we lost the phone. It didn't matter. It did not matter to anybody else. We got home before my father. Everything went well. That night, my mom came home and said, oh, Fidelis, there's this guy that had called you. And I told him, you are going to call him after you get home. Okay? And I asked my mom, who? And my mom said, I couldn't understand. She'd gotten me this 250 shilling calling card. God bless my mother. And she gave me her phone. She said, go talk to him. So I called, and before this, I had come to the US again when I was 14. I had come for a global young leaders conference. I had been representing my country globally um in New York and in DC for 2 weeks. And in that 2 weeks, I had also visited around to my cousins around and met a couple of friends. And this was one of those friends that I had met. And of course, I didn't have a phone. I was 14. So I had shared my mother's phone because my mother and I are close like that. Okay. And so this guy, he picks up the phone and he says, Fidi, ulinidanganya. You know, you lied to me. You said you were coming back and you haven't. And I said, listen, I am. I'm actually coming for Obama's inauguration. And he said, really? When are you coming? And I said, in 2 weeks. He said, where are you landing? I'm like, in DC. He goes, who's picking you up? Oh, I broke down. I said, you know what? I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody. I haven't thought about it. I don't know, because I don't have anyone that lives in DC. And he said, wow, it's so funny because I have a crew of my friends and I are also going for the Obama's inauguration. Would you be interested? Can I have my cousins who live in Maryland come and pick you up? Can I ask them? And I said, oh my God, of course, please ask them. This is the day that I'm arriving. This is the hour that I'm arriving. And he said, you know what? Let me talk to them and I'll call you back. And he hanged up the phone. And I remember holding onto my mother's phone and I cried. I cried, I cried, I cried. And I said, God, thank you. Thank you, because I was losing hope. I was really losing hope. I was really feeling there's always that reminder of you're not enough, you're not loved, you're rejected. Okay? And I said, thank you, God, because this act, you sending this person in my life right now, because it's been 2 years since I spoke to this person, for them to have saved my number and call me at this critical moment when I really needed them to call me and offer me help. That is divine intervention. And it gets better. So he reached out to these cousins of his, who in turn, then he reached out to these cousins of his, and then these cousins of his gave him permission to share their number with me. And so I gave that number to my father because I was still under my father's care. And my father called only to realize that we are related. His cousins and my cousins, like his cousins are distant cousins to my father. Like literally from our home in Ushago, in the village. If you looked far enough, you'd see their grandmother's house, you know? And I remember us taking a trip there with my father, and he was introducing me, and you know, and I said, God, thank you. Thank you, because I thought I had checked with everybody, but there's one that I hadn't checked with that is still family, that is still. And I said, God, thank you, because I thought I had double checked all. I had double checked everything. I thought I had double checked everything before concluding that I wasn't going to have anybody to host me. But you proved to me that even when there is no way, that you can create a way because you're God. And I remember coming to the US and getting to the airport, and they came to receive me, and I got the biggest hug, and I felt, wow, wow, this is amazing. And really, I had a nice bed to sleep on. And I was actually in America. And I said, I made it. I made it here. And if I made it here, I can make it anywhere. And that's how I started my life here in America. I started my life here in America knowing that God is above all. God is who holds my blessings. And God is the only one that I should listen to. And God is it. Like God is it. As long as I have God on my side, I'm good. I'm good. I'll tell you the rest of that story next time. But listen, I don't know what you're going through. I honestly don't know what you're going through, but I can feel the energy. There's a lot of things not going right. But when things are not going right, we shouldn't be focusing on the things that are not going right. Instead, like I did, I could have chosen to tell my sister, are you crazy? Do you realize I'm going and I don't even have anyone to host me and you're telling me to go for a concert? Why would I be going to a concert? I could have chosen to sit back home and just sulk, be sad, cry, be depressed, keep knocking at doors that have been shut with so many padlocks. But I didn't. I said, thank you, sis. I didn't know about this concert. Let's go. I would love to dance. I would love to see some live performances. I would like to make some new friends. I would like a break from this stress. You know? And that's what God is telling you to do. Whatever is not working, write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down on a piece of paper. Go outside and pray to God and tell God, God, these are my problems right here. God, these are my problems right here. And I'm going to take this lighter and I'm going to burn this paper. And this smoke is going to go up, God. And God, I know I have given it to you. I will leave it up to you and I will not focus on it again. Because the more I focus on it, the bitter I'm feeling. The more I'm feeling like I don't have enough. The more angry I'm getting. The more helpless I'm feeling. And those feelings never helped anybody. Really, you need to be in the highest frequency to be able to manifest the things that you need. So you set the intention and leave it out there for God. Set the intention and leave it out there for God. And then that's just sit back. Don't even attach yourself to how that's going to unfold. Don't even attach yourself to how God is going to come in and do this. Because God has his own mind. God knows what's best for you. And that's why people would say, God, please take away my enemies. And then suddenly your friends start blocking you. Your friends start not wanting to talk with you. Your friends start not inviting you to places. God is telling you those who you thought were your friends, they are your worst enemy. And because you asked me to take away your enemies, don't question me. Don't go searching for them. Don't go begging for attention. Don't go asking, oh, can I come see you? Oh, can. Nope. Let go and let God. And live your life. Because for me, that is what has brought me to who I am, to where I am right now. It's that understanding that God is above all. God is above all. And He will continue to be above all. And He'll continue to give me the opportunity, the faith, the courage, the bravery to even sit here, talk to you, and not even care 1 ounce about what you think. Because it's my life, it's my experience. And I'm speaking my truth. In as much as to you it might seem, oh, that is something so small. Yeah. It seems something so small. Yes. But let me tell you, it changed my life. As a young girl, I witnessed the hand of God in my life. And I never let go. And I'm asking you, don't let go. Don't let go of God. Just give Him your problems and let go of those problems.